Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Tuesday. This is like third try, take three. Anyways, like I said, we're rolling right into it. Day number two um, of self love. And remember, you can find these at lifehack.org, lifehack, just like it sounds.org, under 34 ways to practice self love. All right. So, day number two, understand that sometimes societal expectations offer unrealistic standards. So, again, understand that sometimes societal expectations offer unrealistic standards. You are unique on this earth and cannot be reasonably compared to anyone else. You are the only one to whom you should compare yourself. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Even if you find a way to meet that unattainable standard, you will never be happy because you will always need more. So again, I'm going to read that again, all right? Let's process this. You are unique on this earth and cannot be reasonably compared to anyone else. You are the only one to whom you should compare yourself. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Even if you find a way to meet that unattainable standard, you will never be happy because you will always need more. Um, this kind of comes down to what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday was cast out the idea that you have to be perfect. Um, we spend a lot of time removing ourselves from self-worth, self-love, self-appreciation, self-respect, because we're constantly chasing perfection. And usually chasing perfection is what we see on TV, what we see in magazines, um, what we hear people say. Maybe you're walking through the mall and you hear some derogatory comment. Now, I'm just going to say this in the sense of whether you're thick or thin, okay? Because I have heard both sides. I have been thick, I have been thin. And, it doesn't matter what size I've ever been. Somebody always has something to say about it. Somebody always has a comment. Whether they say it out loud or they say it in their head, there is always going to be judgment out there. And I would probably go as far as saying 9 times out of 10, it's because of their own insecurities. That one person is probably just a narcissist. So, I mean, these are not facts you can find on the street or on the internet. Okay, these are Shelley facts, but kind of like 4 out of 5 dentists recommend this toothpaste. But I would say that you're gonna find those people, and but you know what? Don't worry about them, because other people may be looking at your outfit and thinking, "Wow, I love that outfit." Or other people may be saying, "Wow, she has great hair," or "Look how pretty she is," or "Look how handsome he is," and "Oh my God, I like that shirt they're wearing." You know, eh, don't worry about what other people think. You go out there and you be you. Okay, you just be you. And even though it says the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself, don't even compare yourself to yourself. Who you were yesterday may not be who you are today. Who you were 10 years ago is definitely not who you are today, right? Um, I was reading an article last night before I went to bed. Sometimes my finger just slips, right? And then I end up in Apple News. Yes, I have an iPhone. I end up in Apple News, and I read this article about Millie Bobby Brown, and I wasn't sure how I'd be able to work this in today, but I wrote all these down, and I promptly made myself forget them because I really want to be in the moment with all of you. But, she made a good comment. It's like she's growing up, okay? She's not the same kid from Stranger Things that we first saw like a gazillion years ago, right? Because that show is just taking forever to finish. But hey, we're all back for it, right? The minute it drops, it's like, ooh. So, here we go. But but it's true. She's not the same person she was 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, however long ago that show started. And she's getting older. She's growing up. She's a woman now, okay? And what was interesting is that she was talking about, how she'll see some of these articles and, these headlines and people, or even just comments on social media, and people saying stuff like, what did she do to her face? It's like, hello, she's an adult now. Her entire body's changing. Her hormones are going to start changing. I mean, come on. Anybody who's been, through your first menstrual cycle to your last one heading into menopause and the sunset, your body changes over time. When you have, for women who have had children, your body changes over time. Men, their body change over time, right? All of us, our bodies change over time. We get older. I look back at pictures from 10 years ago and I look similar, but I don't look similar, if that makes any sense. I've changed. And the interesting thing about that is that she mentioned that a lot of these people making these comments are women. And who are we as human beings, period, man or woman, to judge somebody? I remember a sibling and I being at a Comic-Con, and it was it was during all those Twilight movies. I'm sorry. I've never seen any of them. I apologize for people who are fans. I don't want to lose you here, but what I found interesting is a lot of the moms were there with their daughters, and they're fans. I mean, come on, who's not a fan of something? We're all a fan of something. It doesn't matter how old you are. We become fans of series and stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. What was wrong with that, though, is that when you're at Comic Con, sometimes if you want to see a panel, you have to wait for a few panels to get to the one you actually want to see. If because you don't want to lose your seat, and you want to get there early to make sure you get in, because Hall H is an entire universe unto itself, and even Ballroom 20 is a ballroom unto itself. But um, they were the cattiest women, the cattiest women. And I'm not going to name the actress that they were being totally catty about. Then, another actress came out on the next panel. It's like, oh, now she's blah, blah, blah. She's wholesome. She's hilarious. It's like, what is wrong with you people? And the best part is, Sibling is so quiet. And she's not a nerd geek, whatever you want to refer to me as, like I am. But she does go because she loves the atmosphere. It's a lot of good energy, positive energy, usually. And she made some comments, and she made them loud enough for them to hear. And, then, you can hear them kind of answering back underneath their breath. And that was like, the shoe fits, if the shoe fits. Because it's like, you don't know anything about her. And it turns out that, in later interviews, this person that they were, being so catty about was so insecure about her body, about herself in general. And she's a beautiful human being. But it was just kind of like, wow, and the kids were quiet. I mean, they were sitting in front of the moms, but they weren't really saying anything. In fact, one of them I saw kind of sinking in her seat after Sibling said something, and it's kind of, and another one, if I remember correctly, turned around and is like, Mom, so it's, I mean, the children were the teachers and the moms were the students, and it's like, holy shit, what is happening here? Good morning, Terrence Tucker. And, so it just kind of blew my mind. It blew my mind because here you have someone on this stage who struggles with self-love, and you have these people in the audience that she can't hear, but making all these snide comments. And, again, kudos to Sibling for standing up for her. We don't know her. We've never, Sibling's never really seen any of her movies. We just know of her. But Sibling is definitely one to come to someone's aid when they need it. And that's why I'm proud to be her adopted sister, my soul sister. But a lot of that is self-love. So the thing is, were these women struggling with their own self-love? They were comparing one person to the other, but the other one they were comparing them to, if you really stop and think about it, really kind of resembled them. Just not common, still pretty and still attractive, but not, sex symbol status. Okay? And they spent all their time comparing these two people. So you have to wonder, was their self-love so affected that they had to compare this one woman over here to this one over here? But oh, so Terrence says he thought that the mug was a design on my shirt. Oh my God! You know what? I'm looking in the screen and it totally looks like it. You said until you grabbed it. This is my good vibes mug. So yeah, I have cocoa in it. I'm taking myself out for coffee later, so I don't want to have coffee right now. But that's funny. That would make you know what? That would make a great shirt, right? With the eyes. Oh God, thanks, Terrence. Oh, it's been a long time, right? Terrence Tucker is the man. All right. Now, speaking of self love, speaking of self love, this dude, he reminds me. I think one of the reasons Laura, or older sibling, and I, kind of just migrated towards the vibe of Terrence Tucker. I know. You're like, why do you keep calling him by his first and last name? Because it sounds awesome. All right. I mean, his parents, A+ on naming him. I mean, it's like it just flows, Terrence Tucker. So, anyways, but I think one of the reasons sibling and I kind of migrated towards Terrence is because, um, there's been a lot of posts that we've had and a lot of different shows that I've had on this. And this dude, he exudes joy. He exudes good advice, good vibes. I'm sure there are days where, he has bad days. We're all human, right? We all have bad days, but there's always that person that you like to call friend that reminds you that, the storm will pass and the rainbows will come. And that's kind of what Terrence does, just like older sibling. And that's the kind of people we really need in this world. That's what I strive to be. I strive to be that person that, is able to remind other people that even though that, it's raining, don't forget there's a rainbow coming, or, it's clearing away all the bad stuff. The earth is crying, okay? And having a good flush out is nothing bad. I mean, having a good cry is good because you're washing out all those icky hormones and feelings and all that stuff. And if it's a happy cry, even better, right? Because you're like, oh my God, because that means something touched you so much that it made you happy. But oh, thank you, Terrence. He says, thank you for the kind words, and I am that person. Thank you. I appreciate that. I promise I was not fishing. I will see you after the show and give you your money. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, like Terrence and his wife live way up the coast, so way up the coast. We're like bookending the West Coast, all right? But anyways, yeah, these are the kind of people when you're striving for self-love that you want in your corner, that you want to have your back, because they're the people who, take you by the proverbial hand and say, you know what, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. I know it sucks right now, but it's going to get better. They're the people that will just sit with you and hold space with you with if you don't want anyone to talk. I mean, this dude, we met. Sorry, I keep calling you dude. I don't know. Anyways, Terrence, who we met, uh, sibling and I met him because his friend did a documentary on one of siblings' friends' movies, which is still one of my favorites. And I have to tell you guys, we watched it like a couple weeks ago. Like my dad's all, "What do you want to watch?" Because I'm still in San Diego taking care of my dad, trying to get him healthy. And so, my dad's all, "What do you want to watch?" I'm like, "I want to watch The Monster Squad." And so we did. And yeah, and he he's so supportive. He came with his friend, I mean, it's just like his best friend. And I think they said they were best friends since they were kids. So, or at least since they were a lot younger. And, it's just those are the kind of people that you want in your corner, those supportive, loving, caring, giving people who don't ask anything in return, but who you just automatically give back to because they are that kind of person. That is what self-love does. Whether you have the strongest self-love, or you're still working on trying to find that self-love, or you're just discovering it, this is what it's talking about. It's having that full cup and turning it into a t-shirt. No, but seriously, it's about pouring from a full cup. It's about filling yourself with your own self-love, but also, filling yourself with the joy that you give other people, with the joy that other people bring to your life, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's why it's good to have these kind of people in our lives that are so supportive. I know that there's a lot of us who are going to sit there and say, well, I don't want to get away from my friends because I know they'll change if they're not great. And that's okay. Because maybe you can be the example. Maybe if you have that friend who might be toxic or negative or whatever, and we're going to cover that later. So I will try to remember all this when we talk about that. It will tell you to walk away. And I'm going to tell you now, and this is kind of a preview of whatever day show that is. Um, a lot of times it's good that we don't, because sometimes toxic people aren't toxic for no reason. Sometimes they're hurting, they have pain. And, when you have enough self love, you start to realize, hey, this may not be about me. And, I was lucky because older sibling never walked away from me. In my worst, darkest times, she was the one that kept pursuing me to get help. Or that's not the right way I meant to put it. I sound like she was chasing me. She was the one that kept after me and kept just gently prodding me until I finally got help for my mental health. And if I had been one of those toxic people that someone threw away, God only knows where I'd be right now. I wouldn't know Terrence, because I mean, I met him because older sibling knows the family, that was tied into that. But everything happens for a reason. And I was lucky enough to find somebody like that. And I'm lucky enough to have a friend like Terrence and as well. And I think we should all do that. So, if you do have someone, and like I said, we're going to cover this again down the road and on whatever day that is, when we talk about toxic relationships and boundaries. Um, but try not to give up on people. You know, some people won't change. Some people just like living in their negativity, and you get to choose whether or not you want to keep them around or if you just want to kind of distance yourself a little. But other people, there are other people in this world that are just, they're angry, they're hurting, and something else might trigger them to be angry about because they may not realize they're angry and they're hurting. They may not realize that these emotions are tied into something else. So whatever they can bitch, moan, and complain about, they will, and I've done that. I've done that. It's like I have found some of the dumbest, stupid shit to get mad over. And sibling 99% of the time, sorry, would sit there and say, let's bottom line this. What's really bothering you? What is really bothering you? And those few words, let's bottom line this, were game changers. Were game changers. And sometimes I was so horrible, guys, that, she couldn't even get there. She would just shut down. And I'm going to talk about that later under the toxic thing because I not intentionally, but I have had my moments of being toxic and negative. And I'm not proud of those moments, but I'm also not ashamed of them anymore because I am able to share with you that stuff. And I'm not afraid to share it because that was part of the healing journey. That was part of the healing process. And that was the part, a part, excuse me, of learning to find self love. Self love. So even though today's topic is understand that sometimes societal expectations offer unrealistic standards, all the stuff that I've just talked about, that could tie into it. You may be trying to achieve a societal expectation that doesn't really exist in your sphere, and a lot of us do that. We try to chase something because we think this is what other people are going to want. But why are we doing things for other people? We should be doing things to better ourselves for ourselves. You want to lose weight? It's like I said yesterday. You want to lose weight, lose weight. You want to gain weight, gain weight. You want to eat whatever you want, eat whatever you want. You know, um, it all comes down to what makes us happy. Now, when I say eat whatever you want, just be careful with that because I am a recovering emotional eater, and that for all the people out there who think that's not an eating disorder, believe it or not, it actually is. It was classified by my therapist, who actually specialized in that as well as childhood trauma. So, I have it on good authority from someone with a degree that it is a real thing. But I know a lot of people, the reason I'm sharing that is because I know a lot of people say, oh, no, it's not real. But it is. And it sucks. But what I'm talking about is, as a plus size person, sometimes I go out and I'm afraid to have that burger because I'm afraid of what somebody might think. Now I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Excuse my language, guys. I'm sorry. This is me. But I don't. I don't care. I don't care because I'm out there to enjoy time with my people, you know, and I shouldn't let the eyeballs of somebody I don't know bother me, and we don't even know. Maybe they're just having a bad day and they're just looking in your direction and you just happen to catch their glance at that moment, but because we lack that self-love, we're automatically thinking, oh my God, they're judging me. Maybe they're not. There was a lady, when older sibling and I went out to breakfast one time, and she kept staring at me every time I took a bite or every time I lifted my hand to eat or something. And I was getting so insecure, and I kept thinking, and I told Laura, I said, you know what? I just feel like she's really judging me. When I got up to leave, you know what she said to me? I love that dress. She's all, I am so sorry for staring at, but I just love that dress. And she's all, I just wanted to ask you, but I was a little shy to ask you where you got that dress. Now, she wanted to buy the dress off of me because, like, I told her, I said it was from like 2 summers ago at some random, I think it was Target. But but that whole time I couldn't enjoy my meal because I thought I was being judged when when on the flip side she was actually just admiring my outfit. So, you know, let's stop worrying about what societal expectations expect from us. Let's stop trying to chase perfection. Remember yesterday, cast out the idea that you have to be perfect. You are wonderful and amazing and enough just as you are. You are enough just as you are. And, the funny thing is, I had to, get to this point in my life of being a plus size person. And I am trying to lose weight because of my heart. I mean, you can see the scar right there. And that's just for a health reason because I'd like to live long. But, so it's a very gently suggested, but extremely suggested comment from my cardiologist. It would help if he's just so nice. He's so nice. He just doesn't want to come out and say, you know what, lose weight or die. What are you gonna do? I mean, all you can do is laugh about it. But he's so kind. He's so nice. But I had to learn the hard way to let go of societal expectations. I had to remind myself that I am enough and that I'm good enough and that the people that want to be in my life, they're going to want to be in my life, and the people I want in my life, I hope they're in my life, to stay. And I have to maintain this and this so that I can keep them in my life because I don't want to push my friends away. I don't want to push my family away or my people, or whatever's meant for me down or whoever's meant for me down the road, friends, family, whatever, the extension of it all. So self-love teaches us how to be open, how to be kind to ourselves, and how to show ourselves respect. And that's a huge, huge thing. Appreciation, self-worth, self-respect, they're ginormous when it comes to self-love. They are the net really of self-love. They are the best friends, the besties, right? That are constantly trying to lift the spirits of our self-love so that we have that self-appreciation, self-respect, and self-worth. And the only way we can do that is when we stop trying to please other people. I'm also a recovering people pleaser. I got a lot of recoveries, but they're all tied into my mental health. So, it is what it is. And like I said, I'm not expecting you to go out there and be as open as I am, or to sit there and stand on your pedestal and share your deepest darkest secrets. I share my story to help other people heal theirs. If you choose to share your story to help other people heal theirs, that's great because it's kind of a chain reaction, right? Whether it's just in person, whether it's going live or in a pre-recorded video, whatever it is, or a blog. But for me, it's something I enjoy doing because I don't know, I've been told I'm good at it. Now, I would say I'm good at writing, so I love to write. So I'm definitely good at blogging. But when my show goes off the air and I don't do it for a while, I do get people asking me, or do have people asking me, when are you coming back? Is it over? Are you done? So so I know I must be doing something right, and this isn't like a, hey, let's pat Shelly on the back hour. No, it's not. This is me realizing that in this moment that my self-love is actually doing pretty good. So, hey, now I'm going to pat myself on the shoulder because I can't quite reach my back. Because I just realized, holy shit, my self-love is actually doing pretty good. Pretty good. But it took work and it didn't just happen overnight. Okay. It has taken a lot of work. Now, here's the secret before I let you go. The reason it took me a very long time, I will go as far as saying years, is because I was resistant to it. The secret is, don't be resistant to it. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about other people making their snarky comments about you trying to find your self-love and blah, blah, blah. Just say, you know what? It's like, I want to learn how to, how to pour from a full cup, and not from other, not from soaking in other people's joys only, but from also creating my own, from doing things that bring me joy, doing, self-care things that make me happy, and I think that's the secret. And I resisted that because, it's like I would post a selfie and it's like, oh, you're just so into yourself. No, it's like I was having a great day and it's like, I'll be damned if I'm not going to share it, And we need to stop apologizing for ourselves. We need to stop apologizing for who we are. If you are a good person with a good heart, you're compassionate, empathetic, loving, kind, just know you're going to have your bad days and that's okay. But if you're that kind of person, then don't worry about what other people say. Truly and sincerely, do not worry about what other people say. They can, as my father would say, they can pound sand, all right? Hit the bricks. So, yeah, the key to not taking years to finding your self-love is just being open to it, and practice. Gratitude. Gratitude always works. If you do struggle with your mental health like I do, they have apps. There's a Finch app. It's called the Finch app, and they're little burbs, not birds. They're burbs. I know, BIRB. They're actually birds, but I think someone just wanted to call it something cute. Mine is Slurpee. I love Slurpee. But I check in with myself every day, and it makes me do that, and it's cute because the more you check in, you send your little burb, what's your girl, boy, them, they, whatever their pronouns are, you send them on their little journeys. I'm not gonna lie, okay, just as a side note, and then I'll let you go. Uh, Slurpee and I have already completed London, 100%. So and we've already flown back there twice. So on the app. I'm just like, I told older sibling, I said, damn this bird, she gets to visit London more than I do. So, a little jealous of the bird. But what's fun is that I'll post it every so often to Facebook, and I keep finding new friends, and I have one in the UK now, someone I actually met at Comic-Con a couple years ago. So just give yourself a break. All right. Stop trying to chase perfection. Stop trying to meet societal expectations. Meet your expectations. What do you want for yourself? What do you want out of self love? How do you want it to make you feel? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. And then ask yourself, how can I do this for myself? How can I show myself that self love? All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so, so much for watching. Tomorrow, my show is going to be on very, very early. Uh, there you go. Thank you, Terrence. See, this is what I'm talking about. This guy just comes up with the sayings, right? And I know this saying, but it's like, it's perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Perfection is the enemy of progress. All right? Say that with me. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Thank you, Terrence. So see, we're going to end on that because that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. And so anyways, I hope everybody has a great day. Like I said, tomorrow it's going to be very, very early. Tomorrow's Ash Wednesday, and although I'm kind of a lapsed Catholic, my mom has been heavy on my mind and in my dreams a lot. And I mean, I'm not complaining about that because I do miss her. But I am going, even my dad was surprised when I told him I was going to church tomorrow because it's Ash Wednesday. So I'm doing it for my mom. I mean, truly and sincerely. I don't need to explain myself to anyone, but I am doing it for my mom. And if I get there. So, I don't really subscribe to organized religion anymore. But I was raised Catholic and I was baptized Catholic. So I'm going to share that with my mom. Hopefully, who will be visiting in her little angel form and sitting next to me tomorrow. And so yeah, I do observe Lent. So what can I say? But anyways, so the show will be early tomorrow and on Thursday because I'm taking my dad to his echocardiogram. So I love my dad. We have a lot in common, including a bad heart. So I mean, my heart's fine right now, but he is the exact reason why I need to take care of my heart. So it's all the things. So anyways, again, thank you so much, Terrence, for popping on. Thank you for your words of wisdom and for being an exceptionally wonderful, awesome friend and an amazing artist. Oh my God, this guy. So anyways, And again, Terrence's good reminder. I'm going to sign off with it. Perfection is the enemy of progress, guys and girls and people and thems and theys. Perfection is the enemy of progress. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.